If as a kid you had annual vacations, a golden retriever, or a second fridge in your garage for cold drinks, you probably grew up in the middle class. What used to be associated with homeownership, job stability, and a comfortable living, nowadays seems to be associated with renting, consumer debt, and struggling to get by. What used to be the American dream has now turned into a rat on an endless windmill that is also on fire to please the shareholders. The middle class has changed. Take a seat. Let's talk about it. And this video is not about how things used to be better in the old days. No, we now have talking refrigerators. I think we're better off. Back in the pre-turning your calculator upside down to spell boobs days, there were the royals, the nobles, and the peasants. As cities started to grow, a new class of heroes, or just regular people, rose out of the disease-infested alleyways called the bourgeoisie, aka a word you will forget in about 30 seconds. This translated to town dweller. Ah, town dweller, I see. Good day. I said good day! Today this word has been shortened to the slang word bougie, as in bro, that purse is so bougie on you. It's also not your color. But anyway, these bourgeoisies were the business owners and merchants and the original middle class, between the hey, look at me in my castle, and the I think I'll just eat a twig for lunch. They were usually associated with high rates of home ownership, job stability, and delayed gratification. Then in the early 20th century, the middle class was redefined as professionals, managers, and white-collar workers who had valuable skills. Now you didn't have to own a business, you just had to be really good at accounting, engineering, or catching rats. And fast forward to today, the OECD defines middle class as 3/4 to double the US median household income. Or in other words, shopping at Costco, having stainless steel appliances, and a 2-car garage that's filled with so much junk that you can't park your car. The median income, not to be confused with the average, varies by state, but averages out, or medians out, to about $75,000 a year. So if you cash in between 50K and 150K, congratulations, you're probably depressed with a little bit of disposable income. I know what you're thinking. I would love a crunchy and juicy bar graph right now. And I don't know why it would be crunchy and juicy. Here is an asset distribution graph from 1989, not to be confused with the album that made Taylor Swift a billionaire and me cry for the first time in my early 20s. The biggest asset to the middle class was real estate. And fast forward 35 years, the biggest asset to the middle class is still real estate. Even though the homeownership rate has been fairly consistent over the last 40 years, the current housing prices and interest rates have shoved a bunch of people out of the market and into tiny one-bedroom cubes that are advertised as modern because they have a 4-square-foot granite countertop. Or they're forced to live in a rundown duplex that comes with a broken water line and a family of rats that are claiming squatters' rights. The philosophy of the middle class used to be go to college, get a good paying job, and bool out. But it's kind of hard to bool when you're making less than a Panda Express line cook, even though you spent $60,000 in 4 years of your life on a piece of paper that says, good job, I guess. Now good luck trying to find a job in this highly competitive market with hundreds of other people, even though 4 years ago we told you there'd be plenty of jobs available. Sorry, we don't really do long-term market research around here. We just take your money and spend it on dorm parties that no one attends. Sorry, that definitely was not about my personal experience. Oh, and no hate on line cooks. I did my time in the kitchen. Fellas, the middle class is also struggling. How do I know that? Well, because there's a bunch of articles on Google about it. How legit are these articles? I don't know. Most of them are behind a paywall. I'm not gonna give Bloomberg money. What kind of name is that? What are you, a flower or a middle-aged suburban dad? Babies! The cost of raising a little human child has gone off the crib. Get it? Like a baby's house? With the current declining birth rate situation and an average daycare cost of $15,000 a year, who's gonna build your yachts in 30 years? Huh, billionaires? What's that? Oh, other countries. Nice. You might have seen articles and videos claiming that the middle class is shrinking, but is it true? Yeah, it's pretty true. But is it bad? Well, I don't know. What's your opinion on reduced consumer spending, slowed economic growth, increased income inequality, increased social instability, increased political polarization, decreased economic mobility, and fewer opportunities? If all of that's even true. I do want to point out that this chart's over the last 50 years, and nothing's really changed since 2011, even though it really seems like it has. To end this video, here's one of the most accurate middle-class descriptions I have ever read. In particular, this line: most of your stuff is name brand. You tried all the off-brands and figured out where you can go cheap and where you shouldn't. If you like what you saw, check out some of my other videos. Thank you.
The rat goes like this, like this, like this. You are now a normal rat.